Hey, what's going on, guys? And welcome back to another play-in analysis video. I'm going to be looking at every single play-in series as well as every single playoff series up to the Stanley Cup final. Today, let's look at the Winnipeg Jets versus the Calgary Flames. Don't forget that this is just my opinion, and don't forget that none of this is even sure to happen. With a lot of players testing positive, we aren't even sure if this is going to happen or if every single player is going to play. So this is just assuming that every single player plays. So without further ado, let's get started. First, let's take a look at how these teams got here. In 71 games, the Jets won 37, lost 28, and lost 6 in overtime or shootouts, good for 80 points and fourth in the Central Division. The Jets were playing some of their best hockey when the season ended. In their last 10, they were 6-3-1, and they won 4 straight. Now let's take a look at the Flames. They played 70 games, which is one less than the Jets. They went 36, 27, and 7, and 79 points, which is also one less than the Jets, and they were in third place in the Pacific. They were also 6-3-1 in their last 10, and they lost their very last game before the break. And like I've said in my other analysis videos, I'm not putting much weight into how they were playing before the break, because it's been 3 months since these games were played. They only played one time during the regular season, and that was during the Heritage Classic, in which the Jets won 2-1. I'm also not putting much weight into this game, because by the time the play-ins start, this game would have been 9 months in the past, and after a 3-month break, so I really don't think this affects it. But it's fun to see that it was an overtime game, and it was a low-scoring 2-1 win. So that means the series could be close. This next part of the video is where I look at the offense, defense, goaltending, and special teams of both teams, and I tell you who I think is going to have the advantage in this series. The Jets have a lot of youth scoring. With the exception of Blake Wheeler, their top 10 scorers were all 26 or younger. At the top is Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele, both with 73 points. Had the season continued, Kyle Connor would have broken 40 goals. This is a dangerous forward group, and if they get hot, they're going to be hard to stop. The Flames are also a team with a forward group that's led by youth. Of their top 6 scorers, with the exception of Mikael Backlund, they're all also 26 or younger. Some of the players on this list aren't playing the way they should. Gaudreau with only 18 goals and 58 points. If he's supposed to be Johnny Hockey, he should have way more points in 70 games. And even though players like Sean Monahan and Mikael Backlund have underperformed this season, they're still a pretty deep, solid forward group. But I gotta give the advantage to the Winnipeg Jets. All 4 of their top scorers have more points than Tkachuk, who leads the Flames with 61. And if this forward group gets hot, they can be extremely dangerous. Up next, let's compare the defensive units of these teams. The Jets took some massive hits this most recent offseason, when, in my opinion, they lost their 3 best defenders. Tyler Myers, Jacob Trouba, and Dustin Byfuglien are all gone this season, leaving Josh Morrissey as their best defender. And their defense has been their biggest issue all season, and it's the reason why they were fighting for a playoff spot instead of being comfortably in one. On the other hand, the Flames are absolutely stacked on the blue line. Giordano won the Norris Trophy last year. They have young studs like Hanifin and Anderson. Hamonic and Brody are in their prime, and they're both really good. And then adding Gustafsson at the trade deadline just makes them even better. I think it's going to be really interesting to watch those Jets forwards go against this defensive unit. This was an incredibly easy choice. I got to go with the Flames. When the Jets lose their 3 best defenders, there's no way I'm going to put them above a Norris Trophy winner and one of the best blue lines in the entire league. Now let's take a look at the goaltending, and we're going to look at the Jets first because they're higher in the standings. Through 58 games played, Connor Hellebuyck is 31, 21, and 5, and he has a .922 save percent and a .257 goals against average. These are Vezina level numbers. And when you pair it with the fact that the defense in front of him is bad, these are even more impressive. The way he's playing right now, he is more than capable of stealing an entire series. The Flames have had a bit more of an issue of establishing a starter, but it's David Riddick, and I think that's who they should go with in this play-in round. And even though his numbers aren't the best behind that amazing defense, if things get out of hand, you can just put in Cam Talbot because he does have experience. This was a really easy decision. Hellebuyck has been one of the best goalies in the entire league, and this is behind one of the worst blue lines in the entire league. And that's why he gets my vote for the Vezina Trophy. The last thing we're going to look at to compare these two teams is the special teams. And when it comes to the penalty kill for the Jets, which is the stat on the bottom, I'm not surprised they're in the bottom half of the league. 77.6%. They've let in 39 goals and 174 opportunities. What does shock me is that they're only 15th ranked in power play. 20.5%, 42 goals and 205 opportunities. When you have players like they do, they should be in the top 10 every single year. The Flames are a little bit better on the power play, but they're a whole lot better on the penalty kill. For the power play, they're at 21.2%, so only about a percent better than the Jets. They've scored 41 goals and 193 opportunities. But their penalty kill, significantly better than the Jets. 8th ranked, 82.1% penalty kills. They've allowed 35 goals on 196 opportunities. For this one, you just got to look at the numbers. Barely being better on the power play is one thing, but they are so much better on the penalty kill. And I think it's going to be huge in this series if they can slow down that power play that hasn't really been that good for the Jets. In my opinion, this is going to be really close. And honestly, I don't see there's any way it doesn't go 5 games. The Flames and the Jets are close in the standings. They're fairly close to the same skill level. And it's going to be a highly competitive matchup between two really good Canadian teams. I really don't see any of these games being a blowout. If I had to guess, I would think that every single game is going to be won by 1 or 2 goals. Of all my predictions for these play and analysis videos, this was by far the hardest decision. But for my prediction, I have the Jets winning in 5 games. And yes, I know their defense is really bad, but Hellebuyck's been carrying the weight of that bad defense all season. And if he can get back to that level, the Jets will win this series. If you enjoyed this play and analysis video, please hit that subscribe button. It just takes 1 second for you and it makes my whole day. I promise you, every subscription matters to me. And if you don't agree with me, please let me know in the comments who you think is going to win. Give me your predictions, who's going to win and in how many games. And don't forget, I'm doing an analysis video for every single one of these play-in rounds, every single playoff matchup, all the way up to the Stanley Cup final. So if you enjoyed this video, please head on over to my channel and check out my play-in playlist. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.